Hey everybody, thank you for joining my channel. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe, like this video, and leave a comment if you will. I want to talk about the spiritual consequences of having sexual intercourse with others. It's very important because women are different from men, and men don't understand that women are emotional creatures. And so when that sacred energy is exchanged, then women become emotionally attached and we act crazy if things do not go in our favor. And that has to be understood. Men act like they don't understand that women just can't have sex like men have sex. We just can't do that because we are emotional creatures. We are made differently. So I want to talk about the spiritual consequences of having sex with someone can vary widely depending on individuals' beliefs, values, and the spiritual or religious traditions they follow. Number one is Christianity, sacredness of the union. In Christian doctrine, sex is often viewed as a sacred act meant for marriage. Engaging in sex outside of marriage may be seen as sinful, as it can be seen as violating God's design for human relationships and intimacy. Some Christians believe that sexual sin can separate them from God or lead to spiritual consequences like guilt, shame, or a weakening of their spiritual connection. And it says, your body as a temple. The Bible also teaches that the body is a temple of the Holy Spirit. 1 Corinthians 6:19 through 20. So engaging in sexual acts can be seen as either honoring or dishonoring one's body and spirit. Number two, in Hinduism, they speak of karma. In Hinduism, actions whether virtuous or harmful. Karma in Hinduism, acts whether virtuous or harmful, generates karma that affects one's spiritual progress. Engaging in sex with someone may lead to either positive or negative karmic consequences, depending on the context, such as whether it's consensual, respectful, and in line with religious dharma, righteous living. Sacredness of energy. Tantra, a spiritual tradition within Hinduism, views sexual energy as a powerful force. Engaging in sex can be seen as either an act of sacred union or one that can deplete or misdirect spiritual energy, depending on the awareness and intention behind the act. Buddhism, attachment and desire. Buddhism is number three. Attachment and desire. Buddhism teaches that attachment, including sexual desire, can lead to suffering, dukkha. While Buddhism does not necessarily view sex as inherently wrong, right conduct. Sexual conduct should ideally align with the Eightfold Path, particularly the aspect of right action, which encourages ethical behavior. Misuse of sexual energy can create suffering and distract from the pursuit of nirvana. Number four, in Islam, sacred and private. In Islam, sexual relations are seen as sacred within marriage. Any sexual relationship outside of marriage is viewed as sinful, with spiritual consequences, including the weakening of one's relationship with Allah and the accumulation of bad deeds. Islam encourages chastity and fidelity, and sexual purity is seen as a means of maintaining spiritual cleanliness. Your intention, your niyya or your niyyah intention. Sexual relations within a lawful marriage can be considered an act of worship if done with good intentions, such as fulfilling the marital bond and procreation, which are valued in Islam. Number five, New Age or holistic spirituality. Number five, New Age or holistic spirituality. Energy exchange. In many New Age belief systems, sex is seen as an exchange of energy between partners. The emotional, physical, and spiritual health of each participant is influenced by the energy they share. If sex is not aligned with love or mutual respect, it may leave both parties spiritually drained or disturbed. Sacred union. Some believe that sex can be a powerful tool for spiritual growth when engaged in consciously, especially in the context of love, intimacy, and deep connection. It can be seen as a path toward personal transformation or enlightenment. Number 6, indigenous beliefs, connection to nature. In some indigenous cultures, sexuality is viewed as a natural, sacred part of life that is connected to the cycles of the earth and the spirit world. Engaging in sex in a balanced, respectful way can be seen as part of one's spiritual harmony with nature. Ritual and sacredness. Some spiritual practices involve sexual rituals as a means to connect with divine energies, fostering spiritual growth and enlightenment. However, misuse or disrespect of sexual energy can be viewed as spiritually harmful. General spiritual consequences. Energy balance. Many spiritual traditions view sex as an exchange of energy, whether positive or negative. If done with love, respect, and mindfulness, it can be a spiritually uplifting experience. However, casual or unbalanced sexual encounters can lead to emotional or spiritual imbalances, confusion, or even a sense of emptiness. Emotional and psychological effects. Spiritually, sex can intertwine emotionally and psychological states, and sexual trauma or negative experiences can have lasting effects on one's spiritual well-being. Conversely, healthy, loving sexual relationships can contribute to emotional healing and personal growth. Ultimately, the spiritual consequences of sex depends on the intention behind the act, the relationship between the partners, and the alignment with one's personal or cultural beliefs about sexuality, sacredness, and spiritual development. That was very poignant, very poignant. I concur and I agree with this wholeheartedly because in my own personal experience, I'm not married, so that's one. And I understand that somebody left a comment on one of my videos. They said, I'm too old to be having sex or something like that. Let young people do it. I'm not too old to have sex. And and I don't encourage young people to have sex because it can lead to disastrous consequences and repercussions. If you're not, first of all, you're not married. So because people can leave you and, misuse you, and your emotions are going to be affected, whether you like it or not. You can think that you're just having a casual encounter, and what you think was a casual encounter could end up like it's a thin line between love and hate with Martin Lawrence and the lady, Lynn Whitfield. Yeah, so we can't just have sex with anybody, and men think that's cool to do, and some women think it's cool to do, but they end up finding out that it lowers your self-worth, it lowers your value, and you're going to feel empty afterwards because you just have all this sex, having all this sex, and it's just meaningless. At some point, you're going to feel worthless, and you're worth more than that. Your body is a temple, and you deserve respect. If somebody wants to have sex with you, then they should marry you and be with you and love you, because once you give them your body and you give them your sacred energy away, then they have your energy to misuse you and abuse you and treat you any kind of way. And that's been my experience. And I noticed that some of the guys I dated, they love to siphon a woman's energy from them by having sex with me or having sex with women, where the man could feel low or feel like he not about nothing, or he feel some kind of way or whatever. But once he have sex with you, then now he feel like he on top of the world. And now he feel like he can go conquer the world. And now you are physically and mentally drained. And now you calling his phone, blowing him up like, where you been? Where you at? What's going on? But he's nowhere to be found because he got what he wanted. And that's just because the energy exchange is it's not that he's no good. It's not that he's a dog. It's just the way it works. That's just how the cookie crumbles. And that just has to be understood. So we cannot take it personal. This is scientifically fact-based information. Yes, so this is scientifically and fact-based and experience-based and just spiritually based and all of that. So we have to understand that that's why women are not interested in dating men, because most men are not very much spiritually inclined and really know the consequences and repercussions to sex, and women end up always getting the short end of the stick, and it's not something that we have 100% control over at none whatsoever. The only way we can combat that bad situation from occurring is by abstaining from intercourse. And, you know, it's not even about who you choosing. It's, you know, people act like you choosing the wrong person. No, you're not choosing the wrong person. You're doing the wrong thing. I don't care who it is. I don't care if he's the perfect guy. He's perfect. He's an angel or a saint or whatever the case may be. If you have intercourse with this person and you're not married to them, it's not going to work out. And that has to be understood. It doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter what they say out of their mouth. None of that matters, because in the spiritual realm, it's not authorized and it's not okay. Like I just read, it said it depends on the intentions behind it, and who you're actually having sex with makes the difference, and what's the context. Like if you have that respect for yourself and love for yourself, you know that the seriousness of sharing your energy with someone out of marriage has consequences and repercussions, then you are going to be more cautious. You're not going to just have sex so freely with someone when you know for a fact that there are consequences and repercussions to your actions, because it's just scientific. It's just the way, it's just biological. It has biological effects and psychological effects and emotional effects on you once you have intercourse with somebody. That's just point blank, period. And so, like I just said, I've been in relationships, and it doesn't matter who it was with. If we don't have this conversation way in advance before laying down with some man, then just know that it's not going to go according to how it should. It's not going to go according to plan, because it's real serious out here in these streets. Like, spirituality is nothing to play with. And we know how we see all of these tragedies online about, you know, people ending up in jail and, you know, homicides and stuff like that from people, toxic relationships and stuff like that. It goes toxic and bad because you are having sex out of marriage, and this person is not even the person you should be with. It's on a faulty foundation. If this person is not your husband or wife, or they're not good enough to marry, or not your type, or not, you know, they good enough to just hit them out after the club, it's good enough to go smash them out to the club, like the guys say, you know, hit it and quit it or whatever. If she good enough for that, but then it comes with consequences and repercussions down the line, you know, that you're not prepared for. And then on top of that, like, she could be crazy or whatever the case may be, or she could be a divine gift from the Most High, and you dogging her out and playing her like she ain't about nothing. And the Most High is not going to like that. But she has to be responsible for her actions as well, because, you know, she should know. When you know better, you're supposed to do better. But yes, it's all a spiritual warfare, spiritual battle at the end of the day. So just know that there are spiritual consequences when you are intimate with anybody. That's why it should be taken very seriously. And yes, we have to consider everything before we are exchanging our sacred energy with someone, with anybody. We can't just go with the flow and see where things go, because it doesn't matter who it is. If it depends on what are we doing? What are we doing now? What you trying to do with me? What you trying to do with me? You're just trying to have me as a fling, and no, that's not going to be healthy for me, and it's not going to be healthy for you, because it's going to be consequences and repercussions for you, just as well as going to be consequences and repercussions for me, and that has to be understood. Anyway, I'm gonna end it on that note. Thank you all for joining me. Remember to always keep the Most High first. Like this video, comment, share, and subscribe. Remember to always keep the Most High first. See you later. Bye.